The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, the Power Trading Hour, with your host, David White. Now, the author of The Path of Least Resistance and the Tech Insider, David White.
And welcome to another edition of the Power Trading Hour. And we've got a market that's got a little rock and roll, a little bit of country in it, a little bit of everything for everybody. Welcome, and again to another edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host, David White. And we'd like to always come to you from the TFNN.com, the headquarters for technical trading and investing. And we'll have an interesting day out here, kind of all headline driven. We had a market that was up about 1660 on the open, about 5 points or so. Vladimir the Impaler Putin decided to say something, and that took the market down. And then, I don't know, I think it was President Obama said that he was going to have a discussion next Tuesday, and that pretty much put the kibosh on anybody thinking we were going to have a fighting this weekend, so everybody decided they had to drive the market up just one more time. What this hasn't gotten us, even with this huge intraday move of 24 points lower from where we're at right now, is 2.2 billion shares. What this does show is huge complacency in this market. A lot of people just don't believe that there's any chance in HEOO hockey sticks. Is that what you're supposed to say? That this market's ever going down. The pros at the street have pretty much put a line in the sand around 1620, and that's where they're buying at downside protection. At this point, they think that they're fine, and they're buying out of the money puts at about that level for most of the stocks and most of the indexes to set this up. Now, other things in play out here. Let's go ahead and look. We've got a little bit of movement in gold today. It actually did bounce. I suspect it's going to be a lot of back and fill out here. Up 15.40 at 1388.40, but I think we have a good chance of getting down to 1330 or even 1275 once again after looking at this market. We look at and have looked at the dollar index. It's off a little bit, about 43 cents today, putting a little bit back into this market. But silver's up 60 cents. We've got platinum up $11.60. Crude is where's it at here? It's up $2. Got to it to 110.43, and continue watching this market out here. And for a lot of these stocks that we are looking at, they are certainly range bound. And none so much as Apple right now. It looks like this $500 mark is a mark where there's always sellers coming in just into that level. It's been kind of really going sideways from about that $485 to $500 level here for 7 trading days, and just no volume either way. So really don't have a good call on which way this is going to break. Now, of course, Wednesday next week is the Delta Neutral Day for options expiration. Options expiration is going to be the 20th of this month. So I imagine if we're going to have fireworks, it's going to be the first couple of days of next week. But just doesn't look like we've got a whole lot of volume to continue pushing this. But a lot of people short this market and not willing to sit on shorts for very long and even into this weekend. So I'll keep an eye on it. But I don't see any reason, at least at the moment, to cover my shorts. I've got, we put one on, actually put on several. Got rid of 2 of them. They were just not performing well. One we made a few cents on, one we lost a few cents on. I've got another $70 stock that's off $5 in a few days. I think it's got a lot farther to go, so I'll be. It is a market of stocks, not a stock market, and I think just picking stocks right now is probably the best thing you can do to make money. The indexes seemed rather range bound and almost manipulated to a fault. So we will take a look at that, but certainly just no volume out here, and we'll continue watching it. So what else do I have? Let me get back to this. Do I have it? Yeah, that is correct. Yeah, 1664, which is just under the high of the day here by less than a point, 2.2 billion shares. And, when we look at the rest of these companies moving, it is rather tough to figure out exactly what's going on because they are just, a lot of these things are just really trading in a very narrow ranges. Amazon looks to me like they want to get this thing backed up to $300 for expiration. Just no juice in this. And actually, when you look at the last 4 trading days so far, very interesting to see that the volume just each and every day has been lower as it has gone back up. Let's see what we have here for expansions. This thing isn't making an ABC up. The next projection is 347.20. If it is making an ABC down, it'd be 1327. It is the 1-to-1 would take you to 264.59. Now that's got a gap right there, and that's been my target on this market pullback. And I think 1620 is probably a good level that I think we're going to reach by expiration the 20th out here, even though they're pushing this market up with extremely light volume. No one really buying it. It's just seems like a very tough push up on very, very light volume and not finding anybody out here. Like I said, I already got one stock that's, $5 or $6 to the plus side on a $70 stock, and I think we're going to have more when this thing cracks. And the longer they hold it up here, just the worse the snap is going to be when we put that in. Anyway, you can always give me a call at 877-927-6648, 877-927-6648, and tell me what you think or what you would like to play. We'll certainly discuss it. Of course, a lot of new people in the den out here. Want to welcome you all. And if you have anything you want to look at, you can always post in the den. I'll try to check in there during the breaks and see if there's anything I can comment about. Anyway, looking at Amazon, Amazon has done pretty much a 57% retrace. I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing hit $300. And let's take a look at that real quick. What it hit today. I was 298.88 so far, so we're about $1.50 away. Wouldn't be surprised to see that thing hit $300 on Monday, and then you could set up that ABC down to probably about what are we going to be at 266 probably. With that calculation in mind, you have some more extensive ABC downs if the wheels fell off the wagon. But I think just the gap in there, probably a good indication of where this thing wants to come back in, trade into in this huge volume day of May 46. We've got Victor from Paramus, New Jersey. How you doing today, Victor?
Good, Hayden. What do you think on Palm? It went an ex-dividend today. Would you touch it? And also, what's going on with Intel?
Intel, everybody's pushing it very hard. They just had a...
Don't forget Palm, POM. See if you can buy it or not. It went an ex-dividend today.
Is it P as in Paul?
Paul, Oscar, Mary.
Say that again. You just cut out.
POM. P.
Okay.
Paul, Oscar, Mary.
Okay. Yeah, you cut out on the squelch on the first letter, so I get about half of the last first letter. Okay, I found it. Okay, PepsiCo Holdings?
Yeah, it pays like a 7% dividend. I was just wondering, what do you think? It just went ex-dividend today.
Yeah, you've got a ABC down to $17.36.
Oh, you do, yeah. I was looking at the Fibonacci retracements. That's what it says, like 1748.
Yeah, and 1737 is what I have, which I think would be a better one if you're watching out here. I just think you've got another buck lower, and I wouldn't be surprised to see that come Monday or Tuesday. You've got a little hammer candle out here on light volume. One of the things I don't like is the energy is just about the same of the previous leg down. That tends to make me think you're going to get a little bounce out of this thing, but not a bigger one, so there may be better fish out of the sea. This thing's probably going to go sideways for a little while and consolidate. If let's say that 1737 came in on a light volume, you would probably look at $19 as the place this thing would stop. So I don't know, is that enough risk reward for you on it?
Yeah, it sounds good. What about Intel?
Intel, I'd love to buy the thing, but I'm kind of getting a little spooked out here because every time it gets into the level to get bought, someone comes out with some BS upgrade on the thing and pops it back up and runs. I guess there must be some shorts in this thing, but it's hard for me to tell.
They're going to be coming out. They're going to be coming out with some presentations in the next month to do pushing some new chips. So I don't you think they're going to pump it.
Oh, yeah. I've been talking about that in my newsletter for probably 9 months.
So you think we're going to go back to that 2150 you talked about, or forget about it?
Yeah, I think the market's pulling back, and I think all these things, they're going to throw all the good ones out with the bad ones, and you're going to be able to buy them cheaper.
Yeah.
I just don't see a whole...
gap up on it. You have a gap up on Monday. You have a gap that still has to get closed for Monday or Tuesday, right? That'll get filled?
That's a pretty tiny gap. It doesn't have to on my way of thinking, that a 20-cent gap and a $20 stock doesn't have to get filled.
Yeah, because I bought it at 2021, whatever. Now it's what is it, 21.77 or something?
Yeah, 22. Yeah, 20. I think that this thing, when you get it on a nice buy, has got if you hold a long time, it's got $29 or $30 in it. So I think it's got, for a big stock, it's got some room to run. But I've got to tell all these yahoos on the street. Are you still there? No. Yeah, unfortunately he dropped. Yeah, all the yahoos on the street keep running it up every time it gets into the buy point, which would be about 21.50. And that's just a problem. But all we've got this thing is doing is trading in a range from about 22.70 back down to that 21.90 level. And I think we've got at least one more test back down there at the 21.90 level, and I'd certainly like to see the 21.50 level to actually say this thing's down. Remember when I was talking about your other stock, we were talking about actually having the energy the same down, and that's what reason I'm not biting on Intel. We'll talk about this when we come back. Other people can give me a call at 877-927-6648. That's 877-927-6648.
Looks like I picked the wrong week. Quit amphetamines.
Andy Hecht, the host of the Commodities Hour, recently launched his newsletter service, the Technomental Commodity Report, and only 6 weeks in, Andy has already recorded a triple-digit winner. Andy advised his subscribers to purchase a long-term call option at 46 cents on July 11th, and then sent out a special update Friday, August 16th, advising his subscribers to close that position at $1.40. That's a 204% profit in just 5 weeks. The Technomental Commodity Report by Andy Hecht is released each Thursday morning, and right now you can get a month-long free trial to this subscription while locking in the low introductory rate of only $39 a month. Andy Hecht has been a commodities trader for over 3 decades. Let his experience work for you. Sign up for your month-long free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report today at TFNN.com. TFNN is having an open house in the Tiger's Den for 2 weeks, and the best part is that everyone is invited and you just have to be a member at TFNN. The open house in the Tiger's Den has already begun and will last through our week-long virtual trading competition, which ends September 13th. Use this time to exchange trading ideas with other traders in the virtual chat room and to discuss trading strategy. For all the information and to take part in the Tiger's Den open house, log on to TFNN.com today. You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Wouldn't it be great if you could get a red light, green light indicator that gives you signals on 25 different futures contracts? Now you can with Taz Signal Box. This red light, green light market profile system dynamically updates 24 hours a day and provides you with important trend and trade signals on 9 different commodities, 9 different indices, and 8 different currencies. Right now, you can receive a 2-week free trial to Taz Signal Box. For all the details and to find out how the Signal Box works, visit the front page of TFNN.com. McEwen Mining is a high-growth, mid-tier producer in the Americas with a market capitalization of $1 billion. Experienced mining executive Rob McEwen, as chairman, CEO, and president, owns 25% of the outstanding shares of McEwen Mining and has put in place an ambitious business plan with the goal of qualifying for inclusion in the S&P 500 by 2015. With $70 million in cash and liquid assets as of the end of 2012 and completely debt-free, McEwen Mining is poised for growth. Production in 2013 is forecasted to grow at 24%, reaching 130,000 gold equivalent ounces. And over the next 3 years, McEwen Mining projects that their production will increase to 290,000 gold equivalent ounces, almost a 3-fold increase from last year's totals. If you'd like to find out more about McEwen Mining, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE or TSX under the symbol MUX.
Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And we got we've got some neat stuff. I thought 250. This is 225. So anyway, coming back, and we've got. I'm just looking at this market. I'm going to vamp here just a second while I see if there's anything else going on. Seeing some posts in the den make me think maybe we got something really moving out here. 16 at 63, 2.3 billion shares. So the market looks like a lot of people have already left for the weekend and not moving a lot of volume out here at the end of the day. Some of these stocks certainly moving. Dollar index off a little bit, not really pushing that much, but kind of an interesting weekend. It just seems to me the level of I don't know, I wouldn't call it passivism, but I would call it just zero fear, just no real cares in the world. We really don't need to worry about the market. The Fed's going to come in here and push this thing up or keep it up. And interestingly enough, and we're looking at a lot of different stocks out here. I wanted to get through some of these early today. You can always give me a call at 877-927-6648. But there's some stocks out here that are making some decent signs of bottoms. Of course, if you've listened to the show at any length, I like to start with stocks that hit previous lows on lighter volume. And one of those stocks is Westar. One of the things for me to actually bite on those lower tests, though, is less energy on the way back down. One of the reasons I made my power law vector indicator is to get kind of a quick shot of just how well that worked. In this case, you've got a low on June 21st, $30.13, 1.5 million shares. We've gone and broke below that by about 17 cents. Maybe this thing's going to bounce out here. But a lot of these are not. And the reason why, if you look at the power law vector indicator number, we've got one here that's almost perfect. You've got almost the same price point, almost the same amount of time, and you're going to see the number is very close, 1.6 to 1.7. I really like to see that also, half or double to really get an idea that volume's really coming in or really going out, not just close, but even a signal a blind man should see when they look down at the bottom volume bars underneath any chart. So you've got half the volume down here, but what you don't have is the energy down to that low actually really pulling out. And in fact, actually, you had a huge volume on the 4th with 2 million shares. And, of course, you didn't break the low with it, but you were pretty much down in that lane. When you do get volume or you get energy down, the most likely thing is not to have a decent rally out of that, but for it to go sideways. Stocks that really bounce and come off the lows with energy normally don't have any energy on the way down. And unfortunately, when we're looking at these stocks in the market, which there aren't many right now as we continue to have narrower and narrower trading ranges, is just these low volume lows being tested out here, but no real move. Another one of the examples of that is Vera Bradley, VRA. Normally, you'd be looking at this $19.50 low on June 6th, 6.1 million shares, and you say, okay, we came into it, and the volume was very light here on September 3rd. CT. And what would you do on that? You'd say, hey, that's 6.1 million shares to 320,000 shares. That's something. Now, is that probably a bottom? The answer is yes. But just because the stock's made a bottom doesn't mean it's going back up. And again, when you look at the power law vector indicator numbers up here, energy up is almost the exact same as the energy down. That's not really giving you the kind of edge that I like to see in a market. And when we go through these charts over and over again, we're going to see that we are, what I think, having is a temporary bottom and a little bit of bounce. If I would have seen that the energy in a lot of these stocks or ETFs had actually lessened on this last leg back down, then I'd feel a lot more bullish on the market than I do now. When we look at the Vanguard REIT ETF in this housing market, has it made probably a short-term low out here, the June 24th low, 64.28 with 8.4 million shares. The best you can get out of this thing is about 6.4 million shares as it got into that candle. So volume is 25% lighter. It is interesting, but you're probably just not going to see a whole lot of bounce out of these things. So we'll be back in a minute. Give me a call, 877-927-6648.
With the stock market flirting with all-time highs and volatility back, now is the perfect time for a 2-week free trial to Market Insights. On Monday, June 24th, Tom O'Brien closed out all 5 open positions in his daily newsletter, Market Insights, with all trades being profitable and ranging from a 2.23% gain all the way to more than an 11% gain in just one position for an incredible 32.7% profit combined between the 5 trades. Let Tom O'Brien's years of market experience work for you. If you'd like to see for yourself what kind of trading newsletter Tom O'Brien delivers to his clients each morning, then now is a perfect time to sign up for a 2-week free trial to his daily newsletter, Market Insights. In a volatile market like we currently have, the potential for fast market moves like we've seen recently is a trader's dream. So don't wait any longer. Sign up for your 2-week free trial to Market Insights today at the front page of TFNN.com.
No matter where you listen to TFNN programming, we want you to know you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones and iPads, located at the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a mobile connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all of our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and radio call and talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com. Educating investors.
Daryl Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his diagnostic box spread analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Daryl Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Harmony Gold. For more information, just click the Harmony Gold banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And as we come back, looking at the second half of this show here and checking in with the volume. You know, we're pushed up 8 points on the S&P after being down about 20. Just seems very, very manipulated, and I'm wondering if they're not going to try to just hold this market up for just a little bit longer. They're certainly not in a lot of people. You know, we're in the first week of September. We should be seeing a lot of people rushing in and buying stocks. September is traditionally a weak month where you get rid of your weak stocks, and that normally pulls the indexes down. But a lot of new horses are bought, and that's just one of the things I'm not seeing out here is any kind of volume that makes me think that this is a sector rotation out of it. If we had a little bit more volume to this upside, even if the indexes didn't move a little bit, I would suggest that they were getting ready for fall and getting ready to really run these markets. But volume just doesn't really look all that exciting. 2.36 billion shares as we speak right now. Go through some other stuff out here. Had a question of who do you think has the best family data plan with unlimited minutes, text, data, and stuff. I don't know. I wasn't looking for a family plan. So all I had to worry about was myself, and I. So I didn't really look at that. they're changing a lot. The big problem I have a feeling is that I know most of those family data plans really, although they say unlimited data, they are not. And if you get a couple of kids on them running that up, they'll throttle you back to the base level. I went with basically Sprint because of my location, and it is. I do have one of the newer LTE 4G phones, and it works very well. And if I leave it on all day playing Skype, or I mean not playing Skype, but playing Spotify or Groove Shark or any of the music thing, I can let the thing run all day and not interfere with my business dealings on this, and pretty nice. Anyway, just taking a look at that very quickly, but just I tell you what, we get into these, get into about 10:30, you get no volume till about 3 o'clock, again late in the day, but this volume is just a very, very light, and I would suspect that maybe we're going to see some kind of surprise over the weekend, so I'm going to continue to stay short. Anyway, looking at some other stocks out here, we were talking about how this energy is just about the same on the last leg up and the last leg down. Normally when you see that kind of energy that comes in, even though the volume is lighter for the test, what these stocks are doing is going to be building steam to go back and actually attack that low with higher volume. You can get an automatic rally out of these things, and they can bounce. I just don't see much of a bounce on almost all of them. And especially in these REITs, seeing a lot of these things test their lows on 50% volume, which means we probably are going to move sideways and maybe a little bounce out of there so the thing can take another running start at breaking out these lows. But Mid-America Apartment Communities, MAA is the symbol on this one. You got $60.88, 1 million shares on June 24th. So how do we get back into that? Pretty much 558,000 shares on the 20th of August. We get down here, we actually break those lows over the last couple of days, and yesterday on the 5th, under 500,000 shares. So certainly 50% level, you're probably going to expect a bounce, but all of these came down with more or about the same energy as they did before, which normally means you're not going to have a real decent bounce out of these things. If you get a bounce, it's going to be 1, 2, 3 days, and then that's over. And it's going to just probably bounce back up $63, where it's going to find that it's got no volume yet again, like it had on the 26th, and continue to roll over. Some of these, I have some nice candles. General Growth Properties, another one of these REITs, out here tagging and going through some of the previous lows. Depending on which one you want to use, the May 23rd or the June 24th lows in GGP. This thing had 4 million shares at $18.63. You'd love this thing to tag it. It got, close enough. But it still had 3.5 million shares out here. And again, some of these are weaker than others, but the energy also was just a tad higher on the way back down when you look at my power law vector indicator. In this case, if you can't see it well on Tiger TV or in the den, it's 3.3 to 3.4 on the downside. And that's what I just don't see, and why I remain somewhat bearish, is that a lot of these stocks just aren't really showing any kind of real light volume pullback. One of those that has changed was a fossil. This one, if we were going to break out, would be one that certainly the chart is showing extremely good setup in it. That is FOSL. I was short this thing and actually covered I think before this thing bounced up to that 129 the next day. Maybe it was even before that. Can't remember. It's been a few months ago. The stock was acting horribly. Came into earnings and actually bounced very nicely. This thing has been slowly pulling back. This is exactly what I do like. Very, very light, no big, huge volume days. It's coming back into where this thing gapped up on earnings and is slowly been meandering its way back in there, and it's just now starting to hit this gap. Now, it got down to a low of 112.13 today, and it's probably going to close lower. This thing could probably get down into the 110 area, and if our markets did decide to work out well, it would be nice. But again, how many of these stocks have I pointed out over the last 2 weeks that have finally broken off out with significant volume, pulled back in even with lighter volume, and hasn't managed to go ahead and move back up? So probably one of the better looking ones out here, but still a problem. Duke Energy. This thing's been bouncing along the lows, but another one, again, where we're seeing this kind of energy. So if you're just looking at the lows out here, you're going to see the previous low was June 21st, and that had $64.62, 6.3 million shares. You get into this with 2.6 million shares 2 days ago, and you're going to get a little bounce. But if you look at that volume today, just nothing to it. A lot of these are just, they're fairly winded. And if you look at the Power Law Vector Indicator number for the move down from May 1st all the way to the low of June 21st, compared to the move on August 5th at 7201 down to this low just 2 days ago, the energy is actually almost the same as a much bigger dollar move from that May 1st to June 21st low. So the energy isn't pulling out of a lot of these stocks, even though we are finding a very modest support level in these things. At best, you're going to see these things meander and go sideways for a while to burn off a lot of that energy and momentum that they had on the way down. Anyway, I wanted to go back and see some other stocks. You can always give me a call at 877-927-6648. I'd love to have your phone call. And let's see. AMT. This was one that I wanted to bring up today. AMT. These guys license a lot of the cell towers. It's American Tower Corporation. And they'll build a tower and put everybody's equipment on it, whether it's Sprint or AT&T or all those, so everybody can share one tower. And sometimes they lease these towers out. They've got a lot of different businesses. This one, actually, they are buying out a competitor, and the idea is to expect to have them raise margins. And a lot of these were in areas that they didn't handle before. But they acquired a company called Global Towers Partner for 4.8 billion shares, for $4.8 billion, excuse me. And it's rare to see the acquire actually take off, but this is supposed to be accretive or profitable from day one. And I think mostly that is because they don't have a lot of overlap in the towers. At least that's what they're taking off. Tesla is kind of interesting. I've been talking about Tesla in the Tech Insider for the last couple of weeks, and basically starting to see some mentions of what I had brought up already, which is there's not enough lithium for the lithium batteries if Tesla were to actually sell as many cars as their stock price is talking about. Anyway, it's off about 1.5% out here. But again, this thing has had a decent volume up all the way from 88.25. It's made its nice little ABC. This thing's probably pretty much on the far end of, what is that, 88.48? There we go. So this thing's pretty much finished its ABC, a 1 to 1.5 ABC. It's 172.02. Could it get up to 177? That'd be the 1 to 1.618. And this thing is probably going to be over, and probably going to do a swan dive eventually. But just a pullback to the last big number would be 133.26, which is not a big deal. What you do want to look at it is the retracements back here and see whether or not you've got a very tight confluence zone, and you don't. This is way too wide. It's about $11 from 130 to 141. So what you're probably looking at is this 133 level, and there's a gap just right underneath that at about 128. This thing's probably going to fight back down there. Probably go down there for a little bit, but you still need to wait for this thing to roll back over. It is just now going through its 9-day moving average, or its displacement moving average, and you want to be watching how this thing closes over the next couple of days. But I suspect the reality of a car company fighting in an entrenched market with a product that if they actually could build 300,000 cars today, they would have no batteries for them, which continues to be an issue out here. Pay. Verifone Systems, of course, beat quarterly EPS by 4 cents, 24 cents ex items versus its 20 cents estimate. Revenues fell 15.2% year over year to $418 million. Sees Q4 EPS of 25 cents ex items and revenues in the 418 to 422 level. So I think that the revenue is going to stay fine, but their earnings are going to be good. I think there was enough of a short interest on this thing. It had been filling a gap that came down on huge volume, and this thing's probably looking at the 23.97 level from May 24th, and we're going to see that, and it's going to be probably that is going to be the high out here on this thing. We talked about Con yesterday, this retailer. And boy, did volume come in yesterday, and it came in again today. We were talking about how this thing would probably race back down, and it is certainly doing that. Got to a low of 52.01. This is the Cons, I guess, like a Rent-A-Center kind of place, but very interesting, and just racing down to probably this 47.31 now on the kind of volume that this thing has. But you can see, especially in these thin markets, if there's nobody on the other side of your trade, continues to be an issue. EA, kind of funny out here. Football is doing very good, but they're reporting that the sales of Madden NFL 25 are down compared to last year fairly significantly. This thing was kind of looked like it was doing a little double top out here anyway. It couldn't quite get into that August 23 high at 28.13, 6.2 million shares, but tried and got very close, 3.3 million shares on the 4th, and yesterday came in with 1.7 million shares, but just nothing like the 3.7 million shares it's seen on the high. This thing's pretty much rolling over and it closed below this 3x3 displaced moving average, or even if we do the traditional 9-day moving average. Let's change that and change that. There we go. And that is, you've got a clear close. And this thing, you're probably going to see some weakness back into this thing to about the $24 level. I suspect that's when the Xbox is going to come out, and we're probably going to see that's where you're going to want to pick this thing up for the Christmas run if you can. See, dollar still. See if anything's going on out here. Okay, just trying to catch up with my news and the stock movement out here. Up 7.5 points. We will be back in just a minute. Still got plenty of time to give me a call at 877-927-6648.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pazzavento's trading newsletter.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the Forex market, and more. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 full weeks. That's an $85 value. Yours free when you register right now.
Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind.
And get the edge you've been looking for.
On Wednesday, August 14th and Thursday, August 15th, Tom O'Brien advised his Gold Report subscribers to close out 6 of their 9 open positions, all winning trades ranging from a 10.6% profit to an incredible 48% profit in just one equity. And all 6 of those winning trades had been initiated no earlier than just the previous month. With the 600th weekly Gold Report issue fast approaching, Tom O'Brien brings an incredible wealth of knowledge and experience to the gold market and the equities within the industry. That's almost 12 years since this powerful newsletter first began, and right now you can get a 30-day free trial to the Gold Report by visiting TFNN.com. Make sure you're a subscriber, as this volatile gold market provides trading opportunities after declining all the way from $1,900 to under $1,200 an ounce in only 2 years. Get your 30-day free trial to the Gold Report today by visiting TFNN.com. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
What's the one thing that pulls people back from the breakthrough that they're moving towards? What's the only thing that really stops people from taking action? You and I both know the answer, and sure, we can come up with the reasons why we're not where we want to be, but the only reason that we don't do more with our life is fear. Or if you're an overachiever, call it stress. Simply put, there's something that happened to us in our past that's holding us back from the life we deserve, yet you and I are okay, we're here. So why should we let our past control our future? Exactly. We shouldn't. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes with TFNN.com, and when it comes to your trading and investing, I can help you overcome your fear of loss. Together, we'll turn weakness into strength with a system I've developed called Mastering Probability. I'll teach you how to make your money work harder for you than you do for it. I'll teach you the tools that provide financial freedom. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com, click on my name, Steve Rhodes, and begin your journey of mastering probability risk-free. It's time to become a pioneer of your future versus a prisoner of your past.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Boy, the way Glenn Miller played.
Songs that made the hit parade.
Guys like us, we had it made.
Those were the days. And you knew where you were then.
Girls were girls and men were men. Mister, we could use a man like Jaime Hoover again. Didn't need no welfare states.
Everybody pulls his weight.
Gee, our old was sour and great. Those were the days.
Oh, how about that for a TV show? Probably never going to see those again now. The way that they do shows now, they're canceled 5 minutes into when they're showing. There's good shows, but just when you think about shows that were given a chance, ratings on All in the Family were horrible for the first year and a half. It finally caught on. Same thing with Seinfeld. In fact, Seinfeld really didn't catch on until about the third season, and then, of course, it became a powerhouse. The problem is they want these shows to be successful from day one, and it's tough to do it. The last 3 years, the attrition rate on new shows, I guess we're going to start seeing those here in just a couple of weeks, is been about 98%. There's very, very few shows that make it even into 1 year, and probably why we're stuck with so many of these horrible reality shows. But anyway, just a thought. So we're looking at some of these other stocks moving in the markets out here. And we had, AVTI. I wanted to look at it real quick. AVTI. Come on. AVTI. Why is that not coming up? Huh? Oh, probably because it's ATVI. ATVI. There we go. Activision Blizzard. Again, this is in that same space with Electronic Arts. Wanted to talk about this one. This one looks like it's making an ABC down. It did come back and test fairly nicely this huge gap up that had 41.8 million shares on the 26th. And, if you're bullish, you could have got a nice little bounce out of here. But even this short little leg, the energy was actually fairly decent back into it. And almost all these stocks, you had about, probably about 3/4 of the move up. And you want to be able to compare these ratios of 7.1 to 4.7. But this only came back, $2.50. Energy was actually fairly decent. Anyway, we got some other, what else we have? That's pretty much what you can expect in these things. Let me put it that way. I expect this to come back into the $15.50 range. And Activision Blizzard's got some new titles for Xbox 2. And I suspect all these game companies are going to do well on the launch. A lot of the titles are fairly old, and showing that. And the new hardware is really going to, mostly for these Xbox player. Remember, the Xbox is 7 years old, and it hasn't really been made much faster in all those years. This is going to be smoking hot, a lot more memory, and going to be a big upgrade for those. There's only going to be about 20 titles on launch, which is actually great for a lot of these companies that do have new titles, because it's not just something that people can wander around forever. They're going to probably find the game they like and move on. Anyway, I had a great day here. We'll see you Monday. Same bat channel, same bat time.
Recently, Basil Chapman has had some outstanding trades in his newsletter, The Opening Call. Each morning by 9 a.m., Basil uploads his newsletter to the TFNN servers so that his subscribers can access his expert trading advice. Basil gives his take on the direction of key indices and updates any active trades that his subscribers are currently in. Just recently, Basil's subscribers closed out a short position in Chipotle Mexican Grill, CMG, for more than an $86 profit per share, over a 20% gain in just one position. If you'd like to try out Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, then visit the front page at TFNN.com and click Trading Newsletters. There you'll find Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, where you can request a free sample copy. Also, don't miss Basil's program, The Tiger Technicians Hour, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, on TFNN.